So the Meg starts with Jason Statham, and he's like, I guess, an undersea diver who rescues other undersea divers or something, or he's maintenance, undersea submarine maintenance. It starts with him and his crew working on a submarine trying to save some people. And as they're saving the people, they're bringing it up to another submarine that's attached to this submarine. And they get attacked by a giant shark. They can't really see the shark because they're inside the submarine, but something's hitting and they're trying to get out. So Jason Statham, he sees that something big and bad is happening, and he knows that they don't have much time, and he makes a hard decision. And after he gets out, he decides that uh, either the people that he saved and have in this other submarine survive and they leave behind the other people, or they all die. So he closes the hatch against this one guy's protest, Sheriff Longmire's protest, and the other submarine explodes, and these people are safe. Jason Statham loses a couple of his best friends who he had to leave behind. That's a hard decision, but watching the movie, you know it's the right decision that he made. And then fast forward to the future. I don't remember how many years. Doesn't really matter because they all look like the same. Uh, there is another underwater submarine expedition. They're going below this layer of the ocean that they've never been able to penetrate before or they didn't know about, uh, to see if there's other secret stuff underneath in the super, super dark part. So they go down, and surprise, surprise, there's a giant shark, and or a megalodon. That's what the meg is. It's a megalodon, a prehistoric shark-like creature that is humongous. And a couple of these people get trapped underwater in a submarine with no power or something because it got attacked by this super shark. They haven't been eaten, but they're trapped under there. Cut to the people on the aquamarine base, and they're just like sitting around a table, and they're like, "Yeah, we should probably save those people. They've only got 18 hours left." And they're like, "Hey, I know what to do. Let's call that one guy, Jason Statham." And just there's like no sense of urgency. They have people that are running out of oxygen underneath the ocean. They're just kind of like, "Oh, let's go get Jason Statham. Where's he at? Oh, he's in Thailand. Let's get the helicopter." Luckily, they're not that far from Thailand, I guess, where they're able to just pop over there, and they're like, "Hey, Jason Statham," who apparently is an alcoholic. They kind of allude to, which never comes up again because he's drinking beer, and they make fun that he's always drinking beer, and then he's just like talking shit to the locals. That's like whatever, and he's like, "I don't dive anymore," and then they're like, "But Jason Statham, your ex-wife is trapped on that submarine." And they're like, "Oh no." So he's got to go save his ex-wife. Like, did they have to like throw in the ex-wife angle? Couldn't they have done something where it's his friend who's going to get him, and he's like, "We think you were right," and just tell him that they think he was right and that they need his help, and then in an attempt to prove and validate his story, he would go. No, they do this weird ex-wife angle. So he goes to save her. And again, this is all they're just like lounging in his living room drinking beers as they're telling him that his ex-wife's like trapped at the bottom of the ocean. And they're like, "All right, let's get in the helicopter and continue just letting them chill out down there." Also with his ex-wife on the submarine is this overweight guy who looks like he's on a comic book men show, and Hero from Heroes. So they got Jason Statham, and Turns out the doctor at the substation base place is Sheriff Longmire, who holds a grudge against him for making the right decision and saving his life. And they keep giving him shit for that the whole time. And then Jason Statham gets in a submarine and he goes down to save those people. Meanwhile, the owner of the sub base's daughter, she's already gone down to try and save those people because for some reason she thought she could, and then she gets kind of trapped too, and then he has to save her and the sub people. So he saves her first, then he saves the people on the sub, minus Hero, who dies in an explosion because the overweight comic book guy can't climb out of the submarine fast enough. So Jason Statham basically has a repeat of the situation from before. He saves them. They get up to the surface. He knows that it's a giant megalodon shark because they all see it and they all know about it now. And even though he's been proven right on that, the daughter of the guy that he saved is all like, "You killed Hero!" And it's like, Jesus, like, you know he didn't. Like, all these other people can corroborate his story that it wasn't his fault. So he's getting blamed again. And I guess the doctor guy still kind of holds a grudge, but then he's also like, "You were kind of right." So that whole him being wrong thing from the beginning is now basically pointless. And he saves his ex-wife, who I guess left him because she also didn't believe him. So they are all safe now, and they realize that because when they left that underwater super cold area, they might have opened a path that prevented the megalodon from coming out from the deep, and now he's out of the deep and attacking stuff, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta take care of that." So there's also this little girl in the movie, the granddaughter of the guy who owns the place, daughter of the woman who is the daughter of the dude. So you got this whole family, and it seems like they keep just bringing this little girl along into dangerous situations just to provide tension to the audience, but you know that the little girl's not going to get eaten by a shark because there's all these adults who haven't been eaten by the shark yet. So they're all at the surface, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta take out that shark." Meanwhile, I forgot to mention that Dwight plays the billionaire who runs the whole operation, and he's basically the Sam Jackson character from Deep Blue Sea, who's like visiting to see what's going on and see what his investments like getting him. Except Sam Jackson, he's not it turns out he's not like a greedy, horrible person, and this person is a greedy, horrible person who wants to like capture the shark or something or kill it because later he tries to kill it and he wants its teeth. So the shark's out there, and they get in a boat and go after the shark, kind of like at the end of Jaws. And Jason Statham just calmly jumps in the water with scuba gear so that he can put a tracking device on this shark. And you can see the giant shark just over there, just swimming like at the top, no worries. And Jason Statham, they're just, "Oh, let's just chill out in our tiny boat here that can probably get destroyed by a shark. We're all fine." And Jason Statham puts tracker on the shark. So they like can track it, and I guess they want to poison it, and they do, and they're like, "Yay, we poisoned it!" And then even bigger megalodon eats that one. They're like, "Oh no!" And then it attacks the boat, and a couple people get eaten. Who? It doesn't matter. Not Jason Statham. That's one of the biggest things I think could have helped the movie, but I guess it's based on a book, and this like Jason Statham's the lead character from that book, and it's a whole series, and he's in all of them, and I don't know if they want to do sequels. But if Jason Statham got eaten like in the first 30 minutes of this movie, it would have been a lot more exciting because then you would have been like, oh my, like who's going to be the last one standing, and it give you that slasher feel or something. Instead, they don't, and like people just kind of like so many people survive in this movie. Like they should have made it like a monster flick. So now there's another megalodon, but I think they still got a tracker on it, and they all go back home, and the billionaire guy's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I called the authorities. The military's gonna go take that thing out. You're all good." Turns out that the military, he lied, and he's gonna go take it out himself at night. And the billionaire screws up, and Dwight gets eaten by the shark because they think that they killed it, and they killed a whale instead. So then everyone on the base realizes that it's still out there and that it's actually heading towards like Party Cove or something. And they're like, oh no, we got to save all those people at Party Cove. And they try to call the authorities, and the authorities is like, we don't believe you. It's a $1 billion research center. And like, they're like, hey, there's a giant shark and we need your help. And the military and the other authorities are like, that's crazy $1 billion research place. Don't know what's going on. They don't send like a helicopter to go see this like 30-foot fin sticking out of the water. So they can't count on them to help. So they got to go take out the shark itself. And the shark's already made it to Party Cove and is already eating people. And they're like, we got to get away from Party Cove. Well, it's already eating a whole bunch of people. And by eating, I mean, it shows it just kind of gobbling people, and then they just disappear. Like there's this guy in one of those giant ball things, and the ball just pops in its mouth. But it's, I feel like it should have eaten a lot more people than you see it eat. And the people are really slow at getting out of the water. Like problem solved. Get out of the water. I mean, get eaten, don't get eaten. A lot of people are. We're already doomed. Yeah. So like, it's like, did you really help by following the shark to watch the carnage? I think after that, the military probably like, oh, well, it looks like there was a giant shark attack, and we need to take care of that now. So then they go after it again, and Jason Statham tries to like attack it in a submarine, and they still have the little girl with them for some reason because she needs to be on this boat hunting this giant shark instead of just hanging out, on shore somewhere. And submarine doesn't work, and Jason Statham decides to swim with the shark, and then he stabs it in the eye with a hook spear or something, and then it's dead. I have no love for this movie.